Before we begin today's story, take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy emotionally driven stories that stay with you long after the video ends. These stories aren't loud or rushed, they quietly settle into your heart. Silence permeated the house, clinging to the walls like lingering memories. Olivia almost believed she could still hear Noah's footsteps in the hallway, his voice softly humming the melodies they once sang together, the gentle creak of his chair at the dinner table. Noah had been gone for 2 years, and while the world outside moved on, time felt stagnant in her modest abode. Olivia had always prided herself on her resilience, but after Noah's passing, it felt fragile, fracturing under the weight of solitude. She reassured herself that she would be all right, that life would become easier. But it did not. His absence became a persistent ache, one she could not soothe, even with therapy or distractions. It followed her from room to room, a quiet companion she could not escape. One afternoon, standing in her living room and gazing at the distant street, an idea struck her: a dog. She had never been as fond of animals as Noah, but the loneliness had become unbearable. Perhaps a companion could fill the void. She visited the local animal shelter, pondering which dog might be right for her. Each one seemed to silently plead for attention, but it was only upon seeing Milo, a mixed breed, scruffy, intelligent-eyed dog, that she felt a spark. Milo didn't jump or wag his tail at first. He simply sat quietly, observing her. Yet when she approached, he softly nudged the bars of his cage. Olivia decided to take him home. That afternoon, Milo wandered through the house, sniffing every corner and marking his new territory with the excitement of a fresh beginning. Olivia followed him, a mix of apprehension and hope filling her heart. The first night, she let Milo sleep beside her. She had expected discomfort, but there was none. He curled up against her, and for the first time in months, she felt warmth seeping into her heart, a lullaby of soft breathing and gentle snoring. Over the next few weeks, Milo became more than just a dog. He was her companion, her confidant, always by her side when solitude threatened to overwhelm her. His presence filled the house with life again, each wag of his tail a small reminder that she was not truly alone. She found herself talking to him as if he understood every word. In quiet moments, she imagined Noah watching over them, having sent Milo to help her heal. His gentle presence made the weight of grief feel lighter, even if only slightly. One evening after a long day, Olivia poured herself a glass of wine. Milo sat at her feet, eyes staring up as if he understood her sorrow. In that moment, she realized something remarkable. Milo's companionship was transforming her life, offering warmth she hadn't felt in years. Nighttime became a ritual. Milo slept beside her, his warmth easing the loneliness she had carried for so long. She found comfort in the simple, quiet rhythm of life with him, morning walks, shared meals, and his steady presence at night. Sometimes in the stillness, Olivia whispered Milo's name, thinking of Noah, and felt a fleeting warmth, as if the love she had lost had returned in a new form. Milo was not just a dog, he was the bridge to her healing, quietly filling the empty spaces in her heart. Days merged into weeks, and Olivia's existence centered around Milo, feeding him, walking with him, simply being near him. His calm, steady presence became a foundation, giving her stability she hadn't known she needed. She began noticing the smallest details, his unwavering gaze, his quiet loyalty, the way he nestled beside her at night. What began as companionship transformed into a profound, unspoken bond. Olivia realized Milo had become an irreplaceable part of her life, a quiet miracle she hadn't anticipated. One evening, she sat on the couch, engrossed in a book. Milo leaped beside her, resting his head in her lap as she absent-mindedly stroked his fur. The outside world felt distant and insignificant. Memories of Noah surfaced, but Milo's warmth reminded her that she wasn't alone anymore. She wondered if Milo could sense the depth of her sorrow, if he could feel the echoes of Noah's presence in the house. She quickly dismissed the thought. After all, he was just a dog. Yet, the more time she spent with him, the harder it became to ignore how he filled the empty space Noah had left behind. The shift was subtle at first, almost imperceptible. Milo's insistence on being near her grew, his loyalty unwavering. Olivia realized she had started depending on him in ways she hadn't expected. Her well-being, once tied to Noah, now found comfort in Milo's presence. What began as a simple need for companionship had evolved into something profound. Milo wasn't just a dog, he was her confidant, her source of comfort, the living reminder that life could still hold warmth even after loss. Olivia finally understood that healing didn't mean forgetting, it meant learning to live again. As she sat there, hands gently on Milo's head, she smiled. In this quiet world she had built, the ache of grief softened. The companionship of Milo had become a bridge to the life she thought she had lost, a life where love and healing could coexist once more. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Olivia's life gradually found rhythm again. Milo was no longer just a dog. He was a source of comfort, a constant presence that made the silence of her home feel gentle, not lonely. She realized that grief wasn't something to erase, it was something to carry, softened by love and companionship. Milo had brought her back from the edge of despair, reminding her that life, even after loss, could still be filled with small joys and quiet happiness. In Milo's eyes, she saw unwavering loyalty and quiet understanding. In his presence, she discovered that healing didn't happen all at once. It was gradual, gentle, and patient. And in that gentle process, she found hope. Sometimes she thought of Noah, and sometimes she whispered Milo's name as though calling to him. In those moments, Olivia understood that love never truly leaves us. It simply transforms, finding new ways to fill the spaces left behind. Through loss, loneliness, and the quiet ache of grief, Olivia learned that healing can come in unexpected forms. Milo wasn't just a dog. He was a bridge back to life, a reminder that the heart can always find warmth again. Olivia's story reminds us that healing doesn't always come in dramatic moments. Often, it arrives quietly in the small gestures of love and companionship, a wagging tail, a nudge of comfort, a presence that says, "You are not alone." In life, we sometimes carry loss like a heavy cloak, but even in the quietest moments, life finds a way to bring warmth back, through friends, through family, or sometimes through the simplest companions, like a loyal dog who becomes a mirror to our hearts. If you enjoyed this story and the quiet journey of Olivia and Milo, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss stories that touch the heart. Share your thoughts.